Hey, what's going on, guys? Trade Lift someone here. So I wanted to make a video on um common psychology issues most of traders, go through or deal with, and how we can recognize those psychological issues, how we can recognize the mistakes we keep doing over and over again, the same old few mistakes, which leads us to blowing accounts one after another, doing same old mistakes, right? So they're not much. There are five, six psychological issues and just two or three same mistakes we do each time, Whenever we blow a account and we go back to what led us to blowing that account, it's the same two, three mistakes and same five, six psychological issues which we all deal with. So I wanted to make a video on this, showing what those issues are, if you guys also facing those issues, and how we can mitigate it, and some talk on trade management, risk management, and being disciplined in general. Yeah, so let's start with psychological issues, and then we would shift to some risk management and trade management. And yeah, so, so starting with psychological issues. So for me, I have seven psychological issues: one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. So the first of that is being overconfident, right? I'm too overconfident. So, not anymore. I used to be. I used to be, too overconfident on any setup. Like I used to think like it's 100% gonna work out. It's definitely gonna work out. And this thought of it's definitely gonna work out. Because of this thought, I used to go in oversized because I felt like doesn't fucking matter. It's gonna hit TP, right? So I used to be that confident, that overconfident. That it's definitely gonna work out. And that shit when it used to not work out, I used to be in massive drawdowns. So you should never be overconfident on any one particular trade or one particular setup, right? Why we are not focusing on the why you shouldn't be overconfident for one trade? Because at the end of the day, we are not focusing on the outcome of individual trade. You have to understand this. We are not focusing on the outcome of individual trade, rather we are focusing on the probability of our strategy, right? Like if I know that my strategy works 5 out of 10 times, then I don't care if this current trade, this trade which I'm taking, either works out doesn't work out, because I know over a period of 10 trade 5 would and 5 wouldn't, and when it would work out, my minimum RR is 1 is to 2. So if I lose 5, I'm down 5%. If I win 5, I'm up 10%. 1 is to 2 RR. After 10 trade, I'm up 5%. You just minus the loss with the profit. 10% there, 5% loss, and I'm ending up with 5% positive. Any issue in trading which starts, any issue like fear or greed or anything that generates from you wanting your that very trade to be positive. Any issue in trading you would face would occur from you wanting that very trade to hit TP. And if you don't fucking care about that particular trade hitting either TP or SL, most of your psychological issues would be dealt with. So do not be overconfident on any setup, right? Don't be overconfident on any setup, because we don't care if it loses or wins. I just know that at the end of the 10 trade, 5 would win, 5 would lose. When I would win, I would get 2. When I would lose, I would lose 1. At the end of the month, after 10 trades, I would be a 5%. So you should not be overconfident on any particular setup. And what this does is, whenever you are overconfident, you just put on some extra size like that, right? Because you think it's whatever is definitely gonna work out. So just put on some extra size, which again you're breaking one of the rules, which is staying under your set parameters of whatever risk per trade, whatever loss limit per trade you set for yourself. You exceed that. So whenever you're overconfident, that leads to, that leads you to breaking one of the rules of exceeding per trade loss limit. It's simple as that. So we don't have to be overconfident on any setup because it would definitely lead you to being oversized. And we don't even care about outcome of any individual trade because not we are not playing with the outcome of individual trade. We are playing with the probability of our strategy. The second thing is FOMO. Like even if people have their A plus setup, which they know it works more than it doesn't, even then they have fucking FOMO, which you should not. If you have a setup which you know works more than it does not work, then you should not have any FOMO, at all. But what people do is, even if they have a back-tested strategy, which they know works 6 out of 10 times, what they would do is they would enter in a position when that setup hasn't even 100% ditto being presented on the chart. They would think like it's whatever, it's about to be formed. So you have to understand there is a difference between your setup being 100% formed, then it's not being formed. It doesn't matter, it's about to be formed. What the fuck is about to be formed? We don't know the future. So until and unless your setup has been ditto 100% being presented on the chart, you should not let your fear of missing out win. Because if you enter without your setup being formed on the chart, you don't have the edge of that setup, right? Why do we consider a backtested setup? Because we know it works more than it doesn't. So what that does is we are in a carefree state of mind. We are in a zone or we are in a flow state. Whenever we know that this setup works more than it doesn't, we don't care about that outcome of the trade. But whenever you have a FOMO and you enter without your setup being 100% form on the chart, you'd always be tweaking. Like you'd always be in a limbo thinking whether it's going to work out or not going to work out. You won't be in a carefree state. And what do we want? We want peace of a mind. We want to be in a carefree state. We want to be in a zone. We want to be in a flow state. You would get that only when you trade after your setup has been 100% presented on the chart. Until you have your setup 100% being present on the chart, if you enter, you'd always be tweaking, itching, and won't have peace of the mind, and even won't have the probability of your strategy with you. Like there won't be any win rate. Any trade taken on the intuition is not back tested. You should always use a back tested setup, and only when it's being 100% formed on the chart. You should not have a FOMO like it hasn't formed yet but in 2 minutes about to be, in 5 to 2 minutes it would. No, you don't know the fucking future. What if it doesn't? And most of the time, when you have a FOMO and enter without a setup being present on the chart, it doesn't even form. And you're like, fuck, fuck, fuck. So don't have FOMO. Let your setup be 100% form on the chart and then enter. So you'd have the edge of that setup and you'd have a peace of mind because you know it works more than it doesn't. The third issue is being lacklustered or going into position. Lacklustered means being ignorant or being negligent towards the mistake you're doing. That's being lackluster means. Lackluster means being negligent or being ignorant towards your mistake. So whatever wrong you're doing, you just justify that. You can justify anything. You can justify any wrong in trading, and we do most of the time justify our wrongdoings. You justify of you justify being lackluster as it's whatever, anything goes. You have that anything goes attitude, right? You have that anything goes attitude, you be fine attitude, and you do not acknowledge the downside of the trade. And if you are lackluster, means you are ignorant towards your mistakes, you are neglecting your mistakes you're doing, and you're not acknowledging the downside, right? Like if you go in any position oversized, on the first thought of your oversized, you should cut your size, right? First cut your size quickly. But when even if when you go in a position oversized and even then you're not cutting your size, what that shows you? That shows you are just lackluster, you are not acknowledging the downside of it, and you're not looking an another scenario. If you're putting on a trade without checking your entry criteria, right? You haven't checked the checklist of your entry criteria. So what is that? You are just being lackluster, you're not acknowledging what not having your proper setup means. You don't have any entry criteria here in that case or whatever. So you should never be negligent or ignorant towards your mistakes, or you should never be lackluster. Use all You have to always acknowledge what's the downside of my actions are going to be, and you should not justify it by your it's whatever, anything goes, I'll be fine attitude. The fourth issue is being oversized. Why do we get oversized? Let's say you just need 1.5% to pass, you know, pass the account or whatever, and instead of risking 1%, and your target is 1 is to 1, right? If what you are doing is risking 1.5%, targeting 1 is to 1, why? Just to pass the account. This is fucking bullshit. These are the same old mistakes: being oversized, having FOMO, being too overconfident, right? These are the same old mistakes which had led you in the past blowing many accounts. And what you are doing right now at that moment is again doing the same old past mistakes and expecting a different result. Are you fucking idiot, bro? You cannot be doing same old fucking mistakes which had led you blowing account in the past and expect a different result. You won't get a different result if you are being oversized on a trade just to pass or whatever, just to pass that day on that trade, risking more than what your loss limit, what your risk per trade is. There is always a possibility of it not working out, and when it would not, you would be in a massive drawdown, right? You cannot be repeating same old fucking mistakes which you did on your past accounts which led you to blowing account this time and expect a different result. That's it. So this is one of the issues too. You cannot be oversized at any cost. Just why do people say that general? Because when you general, you write down your mistakes, you acknowledge your mistakes, and then learn from your mistakes. Like people say general and learn from your mistakes. What the fuck does that mean, that general and learn from your mistakes? It means learn that by doing those things, by doing those mistakes, it had led you in past blowing multiple upon multiple accounts. So that's the learning of your mistake, that by doing those mistakes you have blown multiple upon multiple account in the past. So what now? So you cannot be doing same old fucking mistakes and expect a different result other than blowing account this time too. So that's what learning from mistakes means, that you have blown account in the past, you cannot be doing that, you cannot be doing that this time. So that's what learning from mistakes is. This is why I've written all my mistakes I do, whatever, so that I know I cannot be doing these things and expect something miraculous result or some different result than blowing account. So that's one of the issue. Other issue is shifting SL. You'd think like, if I shift my SL just a bit, it might work out, it might reverse, never hit my TP, and I might profit. So you can shifting SL is again one of the mistakes. Why shifting SL is a mistake? Because you already go into a position with whatever loss limit uh, per trade or you have set for yourself, and when you shift your SL, you are exceeding your loss limit per trade, right? And this is again one of the same old mistakes which had led you to blowing account in the past. So you cannot be doing this again and again and again and again and expect a fucking different result other than blowing account. If you shift and again you can justify all your mistakes. That's the psychological issue, psychological part of it. These mistakes, why do we keep on making these same old mistakes over and over and over again? Because we keep justifying with new things, we keep justifying ourselves, we keep justifying ourselves. There is always a justification for anything, right? So you justify yourself as shifting SL as it's whatever. If I just shift my SL a bit, it might reverse, it might not touch my stop loss, and it might give me a profit. And you justify by saying this, neglecting that what if there is no end to shifting SL, right? You can be just shifting SL until you hit your daily drawdown, right? And what you just did there exceeded your not even per trade loss limit of like whatever, like mine is 1%. You're not even by shifting SL, not only you breached or exceeded your per trade loss limit, but also daily loss limit. Like if my daily loss limit is 1.5%, by shifting SL to 2%, which initial loss was to be 1%, I not only exceeded my per trade loss limit but also daily loss limit, and I can't be doing this because these are the mistakes which again had led me in the past blowing multiple fucking accounts. And if I do the same these old mistakes, I cannot expect a different result. The other mistake I used to do was I used to try to recover, right? I used to again justify it by saying I know I have reached my daily loss limit, still just one last trade and let's end on a positive. So you might have felt that this or justified yourself. uh, if you have, then you can just comment that yeah, you used to do this or you do this even till day, that you justify uh, your recovery mindset even after reaching daily loss limit, as it's whatever the trade would definitely work out. Yeah, I'll not try to record. So I know I have reached my daily loss limit and still you think just last trade and in on positive, you can't be doing this again. If you have exceeded your daily loss limit, you cannot think like one last trade and let's just end on a positive. This is just fucking bullshit. Remember, not every day would be positive. We don't even want every day to be positive. I don't care if today's trade was positive, was winning or losing. I'm not playing with the outcome of individual trade. I'm playing with the probability of my strategy. I know it doesn't fucking matter if this trade goes positive or not, if I'm ending this day negative or not. There is the next day, and I just need to get to the next day and trade again. I cannot be thinking like let's just end on a positive because the day was negative. That's just fucking bullshit. This is one of the mistakes which had led you in past blowing account. You cannot be doing this now. The last one is over trading. Like if you're so my what my motto is: one pair, one strategy, 1% risk, one trade a day. That's my motto. One strategy, one pair, 1% risk, one trade a day. I cannot be fucking over trading. If I'm placing a second trade for the day, I cannot even expect it to be a positive. You know why? Because these are the same old mistakes which I have done in past which led me to blowing account. If I over trade, put on another position just to make more money, right? Or just to recover whatever I'm doing, I cannot be expecting it to go in my favor because I know I have blown 50 fucking accounts in the past by doing these same old mistakes, and I can't expect a different result now other than blowing account. So if you are over trading, taking more trades than you have in your trading plan, you cannot be doing this. And how do we justify this? It can't be like all my trades are going not going in my favor, right? You'd think like can't be like all my trades are not going in my favor. Let's just take one more. Let's just take one more. You justify yourself by saying this. You cannot be doing this thing, man. Again, so this is really important. Like your trading behavior is reflection of you in your real life. How you behave in trading is your projection of you in real life. How you behave in real life, your reflection. That's what reflects when you trade. Like me, take my example. I'm impulsive. I have an anger issue in real life too. So I don't follow my like I'm impulsive in real life too. I have anger issues and I project it on the market, right? I get too angry or too cocky or too overconfident that it's definitely gonna work out or whatever. I place on instant trade, right? I used to out of intuition, like yeah, this looks good, that looks good. Let's just get in here. Let's just get in there. Out of intuition, not of setup, but intuition. That had led me to blowing fucking accounts in the past. I cannot be taking trades on based of intuition that this looks good, that looks good. I should short here, I should buy there. I cannot be doing these things and expect some fucking different result. And how this trading behavior, why I have this trading behavior? Because I am impulsive in real life too, like that. And that's why I'm doing these things in the market. Another thing is I don't follow my daily routine. Like I have alarm which goes off at 5 a.m. but instead I wake up at 7, 8, right? Like that. And I have alarm going off at 5. So I don't follow my daily routine. How can I expect that out follow my trading plan. If you are not following your fucking daily routine, how can you expect you to be following your trading plan? Trading is nothing but your behavior, right? It's the behavior is the psychological issue. That's you, man. What trading reflects is you, your behavior, your personality. It's your reflection, your routine, which shows on your PNL, which shows on your equity curve. So if you don't follow your daily routine or whatever, you won't be following your trading plan as well. Like, another thing, always as a kid I expected a good result in the exams, thinking I would do just bare minimum or just study at the last week of the, when exam is, or study at the last month of the year. And I used to expect a good result, thinking I would do just bare minimum effort. So now I'm expecting to pass challenge in one trade in one day. So how do I have this behavior at the moment? Because this is what my psychology has been throughout the years, throughout my life. I've done these things, like not following my daily routine, or being impulsive in real life, and expecting a good result doing bare minimum. These are the things I have done in my life. That's what is now being reflected right now, that I think that I would pass challenge in one day or one trade, right? Again, another issue, I used to brush off important things which are important now for later, right? Basically procrastinating. You brush off things which are important right now to do it later. That's so bad. And now because of that, I'm shifting my stop loss. That, yeah, I won't take loss right now. I can take it sometime later, right? Let's just give it some more room. So I don't have that willpower, that tenacity, right, to stick with one thing, because I've always shifted what's important now for later. I have never followed my daily routine, or I have never been disciplined in real life, and same thing I'm doing in trading. And another issue I had was, I was I liked interrupting people. Like, I liked forcing my narrative into the conversations, and so I like forcing my intuitive setups onto my trading account. Uh, like, I used to, interrupt people and when they spoke, and tried to force my side of narrative in the conversation. So now I force my intuitive traits, that this looks good, that looks good, I should short here, I should long there, instead of my actual back tested setup, right? Instead of that, I'm taking intuitive traits, because I like forcing my narrative in the conversation. So that doesn't fucking work in trading. You have to understand that. So that's why I'm not waiting for my setup to be formed. I have FOMO now. I justified being undisciplined as it's whatever, I would be fine, anything goes. I had this anything goes attitude. It's whatever, anything is fine, I'll be fine. So I justified myself being undisciplined as it's whatever, which is so fucking disastrous. So now in trading, I say it's whatever. Setup is definitely gonna work out, and with overconfidence, I go in oversized. So this whatever, it's fine, I'll be fine, anything goes attitude leads you to being overconfident and going into a trade without your setup, and that too oversized. So these are the issues which are coming to your trading, because how you have behaved in your real life all the way, all the years throughout. Another thing, I used to say that I won't eat sweet, I won't eat much sweet. I used to say I won't eat much street food, right? And still I kept on eating a lot of sweet, and still kept on eating a lot of street food. So saying to do one thing and not doing it had made my psychology weak. Years upon years of saying I'll do one thing and doing something else had made my psychology weak. My willpower, my tenacity has gone into gutters, has gone into shitters. Years upon years of doing one thing and not doing it had taken my psychology into shit. So, so now, what is this? So this is the a part of your brain which is called anterior medullate cortex. Because of years upon years of shifting important things which are important now for later, procrastinating, not being disciplined in real life, saying one thing doing another thing, not following your daily routine, these things which I have done years upon years in my daily life has now being shown in trading as well. So my anterior medullate cortex, which helps you with the willpower, with your tenacity, right? This did not develop. Now only thing which can make my anterior medullate cortex to develop again is to do things I don't like over and over and over again. That's being disciplined, being showing restraint, showing uh, showing restraint, or showing conviction over what you're looking for, not taking traits of intuition, being disciplined, being patient until you see what you want to see being 100% presented on the chart. So you have to now show restraint, you have to show, you know um, uh, discipline, and do the hard thing now over and over again to again develop your willpower, tenacity, your psychology. So few things which you should as a trader do is understand many days I would definitely lose, but there should not be any open possibility that on any day I should be ending up with more than what my daily loss limit is, even after misclick trades or anything. There should not be any open possibility on any given day that I'm ending up with more than what my daily loss limit is. What does this mean? So this means that if my per trade loss limit is 1%, right? And there is a red folder news, right? There is a red folder news. So there is always a possibility of slippage. Understand? And because there is a possibility of slippage, there is a open possibility of that I could be exceeding my not only per trade loss limit on that trade, I can also exceed my daily loss limit of 1.5%. What if it slips me out for more than 1%? So that there is an open possibility, right? So there should not be any open possibility on any day that I should end up losing more than 1.5, more than what your daily loss limit is or your per trade loss limit is. Understand that? So what does this mean? If there is a news, right? You close the position. Okay, take another example. Like you took two trades. The first trade's risk was 0.75, right? And you lost that. Now for your daily loss limit, you are left with 0.75% again, right? So, and you place that trade, the second trade, and there is a news. So here you are in your per trade loss limit, but because of this trade, because there is a news, and if you if you leave your trade open, and there is a possibility of slippage. That's one thing. Another thing is, if I took two trades, the first trade was of 0.75%, 0. Okay, if my first trade off was 1% loss limit, okay, and I lost that, I still took a second trade, justifying myself that I have not reached my daily loss limit. Although my max daily per trade limit is just one, but I still justified the second trade, saying that my daily loss limit is 1.5%. Again, that 0.5% more than your per trade loss limit is being set because there can be misclick trades, but I'm justifying taking a second trade not because of misclick. It's a decision trade, right? I am actually going into this trade justifying myself that I haven't reached my daily loss limit. But if the running equity of that second trade is already running at 1.5%, and there is a possibility that it can take me out even more than that, I have to have to cut that negative equity trade down, because there should not be any open possibility I should be ending up with more than whatever my daily loss limit is. So that's the this point. Cut the running trade of the day if the combined past loss and the running equity is more than whatever your daily loss limit is. Doesn't matter if it's negative, you have to cut it. If your running trades negative equity combined your past losing trade of the day is running more than what daily loss limit is, you just have to cut it. No running trade in red folder news. Why? Because there is always a chance of slippage. There is always open possibility you could be ending up giving to the market more than what your per trade loss limit is. That's why you should not have any red folder news. You should not have any trade running in the red folder news. Max risk per trade cannot exceed whatever you set for yourself. It's 1% for me. It cannot exceed at any cost. Like if I over risked, just with the instant thought of I over risked, I cut my size first. At just first thought of I have over risked, I cut my size. Why do I do that? Because if I don't do that, doing these same old mistakes had in past led me to blowing my accounts, and I cannot be doing these same old mistakes this time and expect a different result other than blowing account. So I have to cut it. There is no other way. So if I as soon as it clicks in my head that I have overreached, I just cut my size. If my SL is too short, so why you should not have a short SL? Because then you are not in a carefree state. You are always tweaking, you are always itching, right? You are always in a limbo of it can hit my SL anytime, it can hit my SL anytime. That's not how you trade, because you should never be fearing of any trade hitting profit or loss. But whenever you have a tight SL, you are always fearing of a loss. We don't want that. We always want to be in a carefree or a flow state or in a zone. And for you to have that, you have to take back tested setups, that too whose SL is at least at swing. You cannot have a small SL because you'd never be in a carefree state of mind. So whenever, just with the first thought of your SL is too short and you're tweaking, itching, you cut your size, increase your stop loss. Okay, if your SL is too short, just cut your size, increase your stop loss. It's the same thing. You are again risking loss percentage for your per trade is the same, but you just cut your size, increase SL. You have to do these things. If you don't, because you never did these things, you have blown accounts in the past. That's right. That's right. So again, my trade per day is one. So again, what my motto is: one pair, one strategy, 1% risk, one trade a day. That's my motto. So accept misclick trades, because I understand there can be misclick trades, but you cannot be chasing. Like if your first trade was a selling position and you sold that and it hit your SL, within 2 minutes you're again selling. So you're just chasing, you're going on a tilt. You cannot be chasing or going on a tilt or placing a second trade, because these are the same old mistakes which you did in the past, which has led you to blowing accounts. You cannot be doing these things this time and again expect a different result. So AOI, so for me, whatever strategy I use, I always want that strategy to present itself on any 1 hour or higher time frame key level, that being previous 1 hour higher low, or previous 1 hour lower high, or previous 1 hour equal high or equal low. Whatever strategy I'm using, I want that strategy to present itself after price has touched that 1 hour area of interest. So again, this line is very important. Cost of not waiting for just one more hour, like not showing restraint, not showing patience, not showing conviction, not showing discipline for just one more hour, the cost of that is 1 month. You won't pass your account for 1 month. The cost of thinking that you'd pass an account today is not passing for one more month. The cost of waiting for the cost of not waiting for one more hour is 1 month. The cost of, if you think you're gonna pass today, is not passing for one more month. You have to understand this. If you keep having the same negligent and ignorant behavior towards your mistakes over and over again, don't expect a different result, man. Don't expect a different result other than blowing accounts. If you want to support the people you love, if you want to support your family, if you want to be a good trader, you cannot be repeating the same mistakes on a new account, the same old 4 or 5 mistakes over and over and over again and expect a different result. You won't. You just in be ending up blowing this account this time too. So again, what does this comes down to? This comes down to you having a bit distant stop loss, at least above or below current swing, position size under the risk parameters you set for yourself. Respect that. Respect your per trade loss limit. Accept your per trade loss limit. Respect your daily loss limit. Accept your daily loss limit and stop trading. Come tomorrow. Understand, not everything always works out. Someday you'd be closing with negative dollar, but we stay consistent and disciplined toward the parameter we set for ourselves. We accept the loss and don't try to shift SL in hope that it might work out. We accept loss and come tomorrow. We don't oversize ever. even with the first thought of we oversized, we cut our size. We don't try to recover, we don't try to chase, we don't try to place second trade. And over time, if you got any setup which works 5 out of 10 times with 1 is to 2 average RR, you would be fine. So comes down to you having a bit distant stop loss, at least current below, at least below or above current swing, position size under the set parameters, the risk parameters you set for yourself. Respect that always. Accept your per trade loss limit, daily loss limit, and stop trading. Understand not everything always works out. Someday you would be closing with negative dollar, but that's fine. We stay disciplined and consistent towards the set parameters. We accept the loss and don't start shifting SL in hope that it might work out. We don't oversize ever. We don't try to recover, and over time, I be fine if I have a 50% win rate setup, which keeps me honest to do. So few affirmations which can help you to make your psychology strong is, you have to say this like 5 to 10 times a day. Like, all my trades are identical to my A plus setup. I don't place random trades or additional trades just to make more money. I don't let myself exceed per trade and daily loss limit. I don't calculate profit I can make and don't have a goal or target in my mind. Why I don't calculate a profit I can make? Because I'm not focusing on the outcome of individual trade. What I'm playing is probability of my strategy. I don't care if this works out or not. I'm entering in this trade because it had been formed under 100% of my entry criteria. That's why I'm entering. I'm not entering because I want to make profit. I'm entering because this setup has been ditto 100% formed on my entry criteria. That's how I'm entering. I'm not entering to make more profit. I don't care. I don't calculate profit I can make. I don't have a goal or target in my mind. Understand losses are unavoidable. It's part of trading. I don't try to avoid loss. I accept loss and come down. So just repeat these lines over and over and over again throughout the day. Okay, so I wanted to do a recap of the trades I took. Um, I wanted to do a recap of the trades I took last week. So that's Monday to Friday. So on Monday, just real quick, I would explain my strategy, what strategy I use. So I use combination of ICT plus SMC. So let me explain that. The strategy of ICT I use is, I take Asian session as accumulation session, right? This is the Asian session. It accumulated, and then what I consider the London session as, it manipulates Asian session. Like, if the daily candle is to be bearish, it would manipulate Asia high side, Asia buy side, and then break its intermediate higher low, retest, and then out target Asia low. And what it does is, uh, in the second half of London or New York session, it expands, and before day ends, before rollover, it retraces and closes. So what we did here, considered Asian session as accumulation, and then London session as manipulation. It took Asia high, making this higher lows, higher high, higher lows, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and then after manipulating Asian session, it would break that intermediate higher low, retest, break that structure, retest, and then we would target a shallow. So the daily candle would look something like this. Like, it opened here, daily candle opened here and closed here, and we had a wick to the top, this one, and wick to the bottom because it closed here, wick to the bottom. So this would, average bearish daily candle would look like. How? Because Asian session opened here, London manipulated Asia high, we expanded in the second half of the London or New York session, and before rollover gains, it retraced and closed. So this would be your average daily candle. So I use this strategy. But now, what's the SMC part of my strategy? So the SMC part of my strategy is, I want my setup, this setup, to be formed on an 1 hour or above time frame key level. That means previous 1 hour lower high, or previous 1 hour higher low, or previous 1 hour equal high, or previous 1 hour equal low. So if you go to Monday here, let's open 1 hour time frame, 1 hour. So on Monday, this is the Asian session here, and London for me opens at 12:30, right? So before London open, right, before 12:30, if I'm on this candle, before 12:30, what I'm looking for, I would just draw the key levels I can find. So I can see that on 1 hour, price was moving in the downside, making these, higher lows, right? These higher lows. So I would just mark these higher lows as my area of interest. So this previous corrective swing is one of my area of interest, 1 hour area of interest. This previous lower high, again this previous lower high is my 1 hour area of interest, and we have this higher low, kind of a higher low here. This is my area of interest. Now what I want is, I want, again I have written this strategy exactly here. I just draw area of interest and then look for a session sweep. Either London takes Asia high or low around 1 hour key level, or New York takes London high or low around 1 hour key level, and then gives me that break of market structure. Like if you're moving up, making higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, I want the intermediate higher low to be broken. Or if the price swept previous session's liquidity moving to the downside in a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, I want the intermediate lower high to be broken and retested. Then I would just get in the position, have my SL at swing high or low, and target Asia high or low, whatever the previous session was. So here on Monday, I had these levels drawn, right? I wanted a session sweep. I ignored trading uh, Asia. So London session opened here, went up, came down. So I, at that point, I thought that London session would take Asia sell side around here, around this 1 hour key level, and then when it would break its lower high retest, I would just buy and target Asia high. That did not happen. It reversed, took Asia buy side, but kept moving up, and I had the alert here. So I just put my alert at 1 hour key level and just anticipate for a session sweep there. I don't care if that session sweep strategy is being formed and it's doing whatever. I don't care about that. I want the session sweep strategy to only be considered after a 1 hour key level. So London session did took Asia high and did come here around this area of interest, and I got alerted, and I was then looking for price to break its structure or show me weakness to get in. So price aggressively moved up, made this bearish candle, two more bullish candle, but broke this low of this previous bearish candle, and the body of this candle closed here, and the next candle opened here. So this the trade I took after the price broke this, closed below this corrective candle, and I just sold here and targeted this Asia low. So that's a trade here. I sold this. Uh, London session took Asia high around 1 hour key level and then showed me weakness. I sold, had my SL swing high and targeted Asia low. So that was the trade on Monday, right? This trade. Now let's come on Tuesday. So the Tuesday, let's just go to 1 hour and let's just mark all the 1 hour key levels we can see. So 12:30 is when London session opened. Before this candle here, what are the key levels I can see? So the key level I can see is this swings 1 hour AOI, right? This higher low, I can say this higher low, and I have this swing here, right? Price was coming down, making this. So I have this swings lower high. So I marked this as 1 hour area of interest, this as one of area of interest for Tuesday, and this level was also an area of interest for Tuesday. So I had these three levels, one, two, three. I wanted a session sweep around that, any of those area of interest. Wait. So on Tuesday, yes, on Tuesday, London session opened here, and this was one of the area of interest I'm looking for Tuesday. London session opened here. It started to come down, but did not took Asia low by just 2 pip. Started to move up and came to this area of interest. Now I had alert here and here and here. I got alerted here that yeah, price has reached my area of interest, and I saw that has it taking the buy side of Asia? Yes, it did took buy side of Asia, and this was fresh level. It had not taken the sell side of Asia, so that can be my target in future because this level has not been tapped yet, the Asia low. So yeah, price took the Asia buy side. London Sunday took the Asia buy side around my 1 hour key level, and then I was just looking for a what do you say, price to break any intermediate, it's higher low, right? This is the higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, or show me weakness. So price kept moving up and up, but here as soon as I saw this corrective candle and price broke that and started to form candles below that, I just sold here, had my swing at I had my SL at swing high. So this is the trade I sold here after I saw that price, you know, is making candles below these corrective candles, so showing weakness. I sold here, had my SL here, and targeted Asia low. So this was the trade on Tuesday. I targeted this Asia low. 1 is to 4, 1 is to 4. Let's come to Wednesday. 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame. On Wednesday, again, I have to mark all the levels I can see on 1 hour. So this is one consolidation on 1 hour I can see. I just marked this. I'm saying this higher low. I marked this. I had two. This level and this level. I just anticipated for a session sweep around that area of interest on uh, Wednesday. So on Wednesday, this higher low price. So where did London open? London open here. It trickled down, took Asia sell side around this 1 hour key level, right? And then what do I look for? A break. I just have my alerts at 1 hour area of interest. I show patience, I show restraint, I show conviction over what I'm looking for. I don't get FOMO. I wait and wait and wait until what I'm looking for is being presented on the chart, right? I don't start taking trades out of intuition that this looks good, that looks good. No, I show conviction over what I'm looking for, and I have patience until I see that setup. So London took Asia low around this 1 hour higher low, and it took this Asia low, making this lower high, lower low. This intermediate lower high was broken here, right? And then as soon as this right price was falling down, making this lower high, lower low, kind of lower high, lower low, right? It broke here, and as soon as I saw that weakness, I just entered here on Wednesday. You can see here. Yes, here. I entered here and targeted Asia high again here. And yeah, this trade was not in my A plus setup. So this is a trade of a pure fucking greed. I took this trade just out of greed, just to make more money. And this is one of the mistakes which had led me in past blowing fucking accounts. And I did same old mistake. Can I expect a good result? You can expect, but would you get it? No, fuck no. You won't get a different result other than blowing account if you do the same old fucking mistakes. This time I did not wait for uh, my A plus setup. I did not show conviction over my A plus setup. I took a trade just because of pure fucking greed. And what's the result? It did not fucking work out. It didn't fucking work out here. Right? You can see I sold here, did not fucking work out. Why? I expected a different result, but I can expect, but would I get it? No, because these are the same things I have done in past and led me to blowing account. And if I do this again, I cannot be expecting a different result in blowing account. So yeah, ignore that. Let's talk the trade of Thursday. So again, on 1 hour Thursday, I had my 1 hour area of interest mark. So this is the Thursday. So you can clearly see this previous higher lows, right? So I marked this previous higher low as area of interest, and I marked this level because these are the swings, right, as the area of interest for Thursday. I had these two area of interest. I wanted price to touch any of these, and then show my setup on the chart. So on Thursday, sorry, let me just delete this. So on yeah, so on Thursday, uh, this higher low which I had marked here, and this I wanted London to open. So London session did open here, and instantly after opening, London session took Asia sell side. So fine, Asia, London session open took the sell side of Asia, and did I had any level to the downside? Yes, there was this level to the downside, and I just anticipated and anticipated and anticipated. I did not had any fear of missing out because I know what I'm looking for, and I would not take anything else other than if I get my setup. I would show restraint because I know what I'm looking for. I know if I just show restraint and patience and anticipate, if my strategy has an edge, and if I just keep anticipating and taking trades on my setup, I would be good. So I that's why I don't have FOMO. So I just waited for this alert to go off at this level. Price did approach here, approach in the form of making lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. It touched this. As soon as it breaks one of this lower high and kind of retested, I just bought here, had my SL at swing low. You can see here, I bought here, and I did not took any other trade because I knew what I'm looking for. I had conviction what I was looking for. I would not be taking any trades out of intuition that this looks good, that looks. So I don't fucking care. I know what I'm looking for, and until I get that, I won't be taking anything else. So I bought here and closed here. My target was Asia high. Here I closed here, but again, the second trade I took, which I should not. Why do people take a second trade even after having a first winning trade? Because of greed. Because of greed, even if I had first winning trade, I took a second trade. I have done these things in the past. What has that led me to? Nothing but blowing accounts. And if I do the same old fucking mistakes over and over again, I cannot be expecting different result. Yeah, I took the second trade, and yeah, this did not obviously work out. Why would it? Again, let's take talk the trade of Friday. So on Friday, so on Friday, uh, before London session opens, before 12, yeah, at 11:30, I just marked the levels I'm looking for. So this is kind of corrective candle, higher low. You can consider this higher low. I marked this. I marked two levels at the top. One Tuesday high, another Monday high, right? And I had alert here and here. I just wanted price to touch any of those levels, and then I would look for my strategy. So London session opened. It took Asia buy side, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. No, it's not a higher low because it didn't make a new high after this. Just weakness. So it broke this intermediate higher low here and then retested. So people who use pure ICT, silver bullet, they can sell here and target Asia low or this level, and this would have been a success. But I don't trade just session sweep strategy. I want a session sweep around any 1 hour key level I'm looking for. So I was looking for price to first touch Tuesday high or Monday high or at least Tuesday high, and then I would be considering this. So I showed restraint, I showed patience, and eventually price did touch this Tuesday's high and around 7:30. So this 7:30 there was a red folder news on USD, and my 100% ditto criteria was formed at 7:15, right, or 7:20. So I did took this trade at 7:20. I did sold here, but as soon I saw there is a red folder news, I just closed this out of principle. Why I don't care if the news goes in my favor, because in past it has not, and it has led me to nothing but blowing my account. So I cannot have any open position running in the red folder news. So I just closed here. But as soon as news came and went away, it wasn't that much effective. I sold again and targeted this Asia low 1:4 again. So I risk 1%, so it was easy 4% again. So again, if I would have left this trade running, I cannot be doing the same old mistakes and expect a different result. Like if I would not have closed it before it folder news. What if the news was against me and took me out for more than what my loss limit per trade was? I would exceed my per trade loss limit, right? So I cannot be doing these same old mistakes I have done in past different result. If I want a different result, I have to be different, right? So yeah, this was the trade on Friday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. These were the trades of whole week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So yeah, this the just wanted to share something. I hope you guys got some value out of it, or just scroll this PDF again, and hopefully you guys take a screenshot or whatever, get some value of out of this. So yeah, let's just take a screenshot of this, and please get some value if you could out of this. You can take some screenshots here. Yeah. Okay, guys. Thanks.